In this chapter, we're going to talk about menus. There are two categories, options and context menus. Most, if not all Android phones have a menu button, and it's up to you, the developer, to know what you want to do with it. A menu can be very useful in part of your application, but could also make absolutely no sense in another section. Let's start with options menus. If you decide to set up an options menu, it will pop up when the user will press the hardware menu key. It will be composed of a grid up to 6 items. And if you need to show more than 6 items, that's not an issue. We're going to see that. Let's create a very simple options menu application. So file, it's a new Android project that I will name options menu. Android 2.1, of course. Application name options menu. Package, as usual, Vox Island. And we're going to create our first activity. Please don't name it options menu, since it's an object that already exists in the API and it's going to cause a conflict. So I will name it JA options menu. Here we go. We have the code. And the very first change I will make will be in resource, in the layout, in the main.xml file. Just here, I am going to add an ID to this text view because we're going to use it in a Java code. So ID equal, let's name it TV. Good. We are now back in Java. And we're going to override a new method. Actually, the method that is called when the user is pressing the menu button. Override public boolean. The method name is onCreate options menu. It's receiving a menu object. Now I'm importing the missing classes, and we're going to call super.onCreate options menu and providing the menu. So you know what this is for. And I'm returning true. We're not done yet completely, but I wanted to get rid of this warning. It was just to tell me that I need to return a boolean. So now let's do the real job and add items to this menu. Menu.add. I'm going to pass the first item in that line, and then I'm going to comment. So 0 menu.first, then menu.none, and for the last parameter 1. Perfect. And now let's see the parameters. The very first one here is 0. It's a group ID, just in case you want to group some buttons. And we're going to do that in a few minutes. The second item parameter is the item ID, and here I used menu.first. In this example, I'm going to have 4 items in my menu. But you have to keep in mind that at execution time, there may be more than 4. Let's say that the operating system feels it's important to have a hang up call item. Then you will have no choice. It will add it, it will show it, and then it will show your 4 items. That's why it's important not to use a 0 here, or constant, but to use menu.first instead. The third element is the order in which you want to show your items. Here we're saying menu.none, so no particular order, just one after the other in the order they have been created will be fine. And of course a text value, and now I'm creating the other three buttons. I'm incrementing the ID, changing the labels. So still no particular order, that's fine. And then I'm returning true. Basically returning true means, well, let's do it. We're ready, the menu is ready, and we can show it to the user. Okay, I'm saving the project, just making sure that there is no problem. So it's saved. Now let's run it. Let me go now in the emulator. And the only thing we can see really is the text view, but if I click on the menu button, now I have an options menu showing up with 4 items. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can click on one of them, but nothing is really happening. It's a good start. Now what is going to happen when we have more than 6 items in the list? Let's try it. The only thing we have to do is creating 4 more buttons with a cut and paste. I already did that to save some time, and here's the result. I'm clicking on the menu button and I have item number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 with a more button here. When I'm clicking it, I'm going in what is called an expanded view with the remaining items, number 6, 7 and 8. You can add icons to your items. They will show up here in this options menu, but they will not show up in the expanded view. So don't bother adding items once you are on item number 6 and more. Talking about setting icons, let's see how to do that. Of course, the very first thing we are going to need is a set of icons. If you don't have any on your development machine, you can download some for free and go, for example, on w3.androidicons.com. From there you can download a zip file that will contain 30 icons. You will unzip that file wherever you want and select the icons and drop them in the resource directory in one of the drawable subfolder, which I already did to save some time. You might want to have a look and check the problems folder just here, because some of the icons included in this zip contains a dash which is kind of illegal, and the system may say that those file names are malformatted, so you may want to rename those files or just delete them like I did here. Well, now it's time to set an icon for, let's say, the first item in the list. It's gonna be very simple. We're going to use a set icon method. Okay, set icon, and I will provide a resource reference by r.drawable. Let's see what we have. Yeah, we're gonna use the first one, barcode. That's just fine. Now I'm creating an icon for all those menu items, and I will set a new icon for all those items. As I said, we will not necessarily see the icon for item number 6 and up, but I will still try to set it just to confirm. I'm almost done. Now saving and running the application. Okay, we'll have to unlock that phone and wait for the application to start. Here we go. Menu button, and yes, it looks a little bit better. Let's see the expanded view. We'll click on more. And yes, indeed, still have those items, but no icon. So it was completely useless to set an icon for those guys. Now I'm sure you want to see how to create a listener. We are going to add a listener to the last item in the menu. But first I'm going to remove the last 4 items just to save some space and simplify the code. So there's a good way and a bad way to add a listener, and we're going to start with the bad way, just so you know, and then we'll do the good one. So adding a listener to the last item in the list, we can go here and do set on menu item click listener. I have a new on menu item click listener, and let me check and import what's missing. Let me see what's wrong. Yeah, we can add the unimplemented methods. Okay, let's do it. Okay, and here I'm receiving a menu item object, which is making sense. So here I will change the text view content. So first I'm creating my text view, and we'll name it TV. It's a text view. Find it, please. So find view by ID r.id.tv. Perfect. And now I'm gonna change the content with set text, and we're going to say for clicked. Okay, so I've got a warning because I need to return true, meaning yes, I handled that case correctly. Okay, let's try and see what it's doing. Here we go. I click on item number 3, nothing's going on. I click on item number 4, and yes, it's changing the text view, which is good. Well, good in a sense that it is working, not good in the sense that it was the bad way, the ugly way. Pretty ugly, right? To set a listener. So let me get rid of that, and let me now show you how you should set a listener on a options menu. We're going to override a new function, and this new method is a public method which is returning a boolean, and it's on options item selected. I'm going to receive a menu item, of course. And here we are also going to create the TV object, same as previously. And I'm going to change its content with some text. You pushed item number what? Number what? Well, we have a menu item. Let's use it. So item that I'm receiving from here dot get, let's see what we have here, get item ID, and that's basically a number, so I'm going to turn that into a string with string dot value of, and that looks good. I will do the return true now. Still have a warning here, just a typo. Okay. Is there something else? Okay, let me check quickly. Nope. Let's run it. Yes, I will save. See, I'm already ready to push the menu button. And let's see, when I click on one, yes, I have view pushed item number 1. Same thing for number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now, it can be also useful to have shortcuts for an item, so I will do that on item number 4. I will just go here and do a dot set. Let me see what we have. Yes, perfect. Set shortcut. I can provide a numeric character and also an alphanumeric character. So we'll use 4 and F like 4. Oops, there's something wrong here. Let me see. Okay, this message is not helping a lot. Let me see. Okay, yes, there is an issue. So let's fix that. I was supposed to provide characters, 2 characters, and I've provided 2 strings. Let's do it right, because the system was not finding this set shortcut method with 2 string. It just doesn't exist. Let's wait for the app to restart. And here we go. So it doesn't say that there is a shortcut. The only way to see that is to hold the menu button for 1 or 2 seconds. I push number 4, I push F, and yes, it's saying you pushed item number 4. It seems to be doing the job quite well with both keyboards. Great, so now we are going to see that some items of an options menu can be checkboxes and can also be radio buttons. So we're going to try that right now. Let's go back in the code. And the first thing here, we'll remove this set shortcut. I could have left it, but I want to keep a very simple test code. I'm going to recreate a set of 8 items. Just what I did before. And I will have the last 3 items in a different group that will be group ID number 1. I will try to demo at the same time the checkbox item, and I will do a set, let me see, set checkboxable. So set checkable, set checkable, set to true. We'll see if we can see that item as a checkbox. I'm going to create now a set group, a checkable set group for the last 3 items. Group ID number 1. An exclusive, yes, true. Saving, and we are testing. So remember, item 5 should be a checkbox. Well, not really, but if I click on more, I have the last 3 items being radio buttons. So this one worked, not the checkbox, simply because the checkbox only makes sense when you are in an expanded view. So you will not have a checkbox in the first 5 or 6 items. Okay, so let's change this one. Let's move this set checkable to this guy, bring it back to group ID 0, and now we should see 1 checkbox item and 2 radio buttons. One checkbox item and 2 radio buttons. Wonderful. But we are not done really. We have to remember that an options menu by nature is dynamic, so you may want to enable, disable, set invisible some items. Where do you do that? Not in the onCreate, of course. So we're going to override a new function, a new method that is public boolean. It's on prepare options menu, receiving a menu, of course, and I'm calling super.onPrepare options menu with the menu. And then what I'm gonna do here is create menu item, and I will say I will find this item with its ID. I want, let's say, the second one, so menu.first plus 1. And I will want to make this menu item. I have a set of options here. I will do set enabled false. Okay, false here. And then I'm returning true. Okay, perfect. So see, I choose set enable here. You can have a look, and you can change the title. You have is visible, is enabled. You have really a set of properties that you can change here. Now let's try that. Ready to click on menu as usual. Here we go, and item number 2, I can't click on that one. It's not doing anything, it's disabled. It's good to have menus, it's even better to have submenus. So what we are going to do right now, after I cleaned the code, we're going to create a second item that will be a submenu. So I will use a new object, submenu. I will name it very simply sub. It's a menu.add .add submenu, and I'm using 0 here, menu.first plus 1, second position, menu.known. And I will create a name for this submenu, and I will name it very simply submenu. We'll also set, I can set an icon just to keep our demonstration pretty. Okay, for this one, let me see. Globe. That sounds great. Perfect. Now I will have to add an item in this submenu. So I will do sub.add, and I will use group ID 0. Okay, item ID I can start at 0 here because the system is not going to create entries. Menus.none for the order, and submenu item for the label of this item. And then I'm going to remove this guy because I don't want to have two second items in my main menu. See how easy it was? Let's just make sure it's running well. It's gonna start in a few seconds. And when I click on it, I have a submenu. It's like a list with only one item here. Okay, that's it for the options menu. We are now going to talk about the context menu. A context menu is tied with a view always. You will push with your finger or click on it with the mouse in the emulator, and you will keep it pushed, keep it pressed for 3 seconds, and it will show up the context menu. So you see that here I'm creating a new project because it's another type of menu, and I will name it context menu, Android 2.1, application name context menu, the same usual package name, and for the activity, JA context menu. Once again, don't name that activity context menu since it will conflict with an existing API object. And here we go, we have a new project. Now we're going to open the Java file. And I will also open the layout file because I will need to provide an ID to this text view, same thing I did for the options menus. So let's do that. Go here in my node.xml and provide a name, or I mean an ID to this text view. I still have absolutely no imagination today, so we'll name it TV. And I can save and go back to the Java file where we can have a talk about context menus that are of course different from options menus. Options menus are more menus that are application-wide, where context menu is tied up with the context, of course, and it's tied up with a view. Actually, when you click or push with your finger a view, a widget, and you long click on it, then it can, if you decide it, it can open this context menu. So you understand we need to create a text view object TV, and we're going to link it or register it with our context menu. So here is the creation of the TV object. Perfect. I need to import the missing class. Okay, and now we're going to create our context menu with overriding a new method. So we're gonna import the missing class, okay, and we're going to use override on this new class that is of course public. Okay, override public boolean, and on create context menu, where I have a set of parameters here, three actually. First, I have a context menu object, of course. Then I have the view on which this context menu is registered. And then I have a context menu info with some additional information. Perfect. Now I'm going to call, of course, the super method with all the three elements. So on create context menu, we'll provide a menu, the view, and the menu info. Okay, semicolon. And now here I can create a menu. I mean, add items to this existing menu. So it's exactly the same thing we've seen so far. I can set a header here, and I will use set header title, and it's gonna be context menu. And then I will add a first element, first item in this context menu, number 0, menu.first. No particular order here, so menu.none. And let's do edit. We'll just cut and paste that quickly to have a nice example with an edit, delete, and a add button. First +1 and first +2, some indentation here. Something is wrong apparently. Absolutely. See, this method is not returning a boolean. Okay, so I was not able to override it because the definition was incorrect. And now, as I said, I will need to link the text view and the context menu that's set on create context menu listener. That's a special listener. We'll provide the context. And of course, the last missing part here is defining what to do when you click on edit, delete, or add. So we're going once again to override a method. This one is returning a boolean, and it's on context item selected. So I'm receiving a menu item, of course. And what can I do here? Well, let's simply use a toast message to push and show which menu has been selected, and make text for the context. We're gonna use get application context. For the content, we can simply use item that I'm receiving here, see, and I can use item dot, let me see what we have. We have a get title. That should be great. I will transform that into a string. That's perfect. For the duration, well, let's keep it short. And something that I usually forget, I need to call the dot show method. And of course, I need to return true. That once again means I handled that case correctly. I think we're done. Let me check. Absolutely. So let's try that. Okay, if I click anywhere, it's not doing anything. If I click here, it's not doing anything. But if I long click, what I'm doing right now on this view, then I have a context menu with the header, context menu here, and the three items, edit, delete, and add. I can click on delete, and I have my toast message. Of course, you will see that it's doing the same thing with edit. And that is pretty much it for the context and options menu. You see, it was not too difficult. remember to use the right listener method when you create an option item selected listener. It was, so I think, pretty easy. Now what is not easy is designing an application. Really, you need to know where to use a context menu, where to use an options menu. So you knew how to make beautiful applications. Now you know how to make your application at the same time efficient and simple with the use of those options and context menus.